Okay, cool. Works for me. I'm gonna go crack a steak.
Yeah, we just didn't want to block all those people, so we thought.
No, that's okay. I kind of wanted to make like a circle.
Okay, so this is all right.
Wave hello to everybody, John.
Is this my cameo?
Yep.
I got my new haircut. Just for mom. Yes, dear. Let me see where I put the car.
Okay. Well, and we're gonna go this way now. That way people can see it.
Okay, we just finished sitting up. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. John is moving the car, and it's like a mile away. It's not even on the property. They have a golf cart to bring you back once you park. So far my foot is holding up, so yay for that. And of course, we got here late, missed the exit on the freeway. They are not marked clearly, and I think my navigator was taking a nap. So, yeah. But we're set up, and it starts at 12, and they said we had to be set up by 11. I'm not sure why an hour early, but we are, and I don't know, even with all the stuff that I was able to make, I feel like it looks light. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Could just be my imagination. But yeah, I don't have very many big things with me. I thought I did, but I don't. Anyhow, I'm gonna sit here and chill for a little bit and cool off. So we will check in later, hopefully. Okay, so there's lots of old cars. And then we turn slowly so nobody gets seasick. And over here is where the vendors are supposed to be. And there's 5 of us. So they didn't do a very good job at advertising this part of it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is it. So it's about 1:45, and I just sold my big jumbo chicken that I made for the display with the chicks and the eggs. Oh, I gotta make another one now. So keychains have been very popular today. My first sale of the day was the mint chocolate chip ice cream cone, and I sold a mini bird keychain and a blueberry keychain. So with the exception of the chicken, one of each of all the new keychains I just did sold. So this is a big difference from the last 2 markets where there was just like tons and tons of people. This is much more laid back and easy going and quiet. It's kind of nice for a change, but I do miss the crowd. But the band has been up several times, the high school band, several times already playing, so it's pretty cool. And there's a radio station here. There's a whole lot more cars than last year. It wasn't super expensive to eat off the food truck. It was like you got a burger, chips, and a drink for $8, which is still kind of high, but it beats, usually it costs us $40 to have lunch if we eat at the market. And, you know, 20 bucks with the tip because the kids were running that particular booth. So yeah, we tipped them, and well, John, he probably tipped him more than what he told me. He's a softie when it comes to stuff like that. Anyways, I will check back in again, maybe in a bit.
That we are at a car show.
Yeah, right. Okay, you guys, I actually remembered this time to do an after before I start breaking down. So here it is. Notice what's missing from right there. From right there, from here, wasted space, well, good morning, everyone, or afternoon. I feel like Rip Van Winkle today. I didn't wake up till after 11. I never sleep like that. I was just so tired after the market. Yeah, it was an interesting day. So, as expected, the market went like I thought. It was not super like just hopping, jumping, busy like the last couple have been, but it was decent, and the kids got to raise some nice money for their band. Like I said in the little previous clips, Of course, I missed my exit. Something about the Suncoast Parkway. I don't know what it is, but if you're heading south, they don't have the exits marked very well. So we're driving and we're noticing how they have like this trail, and it's just running alongside of the expressway. And we're seeing people on their bicycles and roller skates and just walking, and we're just commenting like how long this thing is. So we're driving and it's like, please tell me that wasn't my exit. Sure enough, it was. So we go up to the next exit and John's like, we'll just turn around and we'll get back on. I'm like, nope, I am not getting back on. So we found our way there. We didn't get there as early as I wanted to, but it was fine. I mean, we got set up in plenty of time because we had to be finished by 11, but we did just fine. There were only 5 vendors there. And the way it was set up, you had, because it's at the Harley dealership. So you pull in and it's like a circular drive. And when you get down to the end of the circle to turn back around like you're heading towards the exit, that's where the vendors were. And we were at the very end, like right on the curve. And as you're heading back down, over to the right was the parking lot area where they had all the old cars. Then you go straight across from that, they had the DJ. I'm not sure if it was just like they hired the DJ or if it was actually the radio station that was there. And then behind them was the food trucks. And then the vendors, the 5 of us, were way down here. So I think we were a little separated from the group. If I was planning it, I would have set it up a little different because where the vendors were, and there were only 5, so there was plenty of space for this. Where the vendors were is where I would have put the DJ, and they had picnic tables and swings, you know. I mean, it was a nice area. But I would have put that down there because there would have been more people, more room for the people to like gather around. And then straight across from the cars, I would have had the cars, the vendors, and then you have to walk through the vendors to get to the food. And then right across from the food was the entrance to the dealership. That's just, we were sitting there talking about it, how I think it just would have made it flow better. Like all the crowd wouldn't have just been in one area. It would have like let the people disperse a little. But I mean, other than that, we had a good time. The band actually, instead of just one time getting up and playing, they did it a couple of times. They had their color guard out there. The kids were great. And of course, the kids were the best customers. Now, I do think, though, because one of the 5 of us vendors was 3D printed toys. And I do think that takes away, like, the crocheted plushies take away from the 3D printed toys, and the 3D printed toys take away from the crochet plushie toys. So if you're the only toy maker of any kind there, I think you would do extremely well. But anyways, we did not have a bad day. We sold 31 items, and the market, we had to be finished setting up by 11, but it was from 12 to 4. So, 4 hours. I personally think that if you can do at least $100 an hour in sales, that it's a good market. We didn't quite meet the $100 an hour. We weren't far off, but we didn't quite meet the $100 an hour. But I definitely did more than 10 times my sales. I know that's how Stacy makes, calculates hers, whether or not it's a market that she would go back to or not. So with a $25 booth fee, it's not hard to do 10 times the amount. So the first thing of the day that sold was my mint chocolate chip ice cream cone keychain. I'm like, that one was my favorite out of the ice cream cones. It's also my favorite ice cream, in case I didn't tell you. So that was first, and then the second, it probably took 45 minutes before we had the first sale. And it was the mint chocolate chip ice cream cone keychain. But rather than go through each one individually, I grouped it together, you know, by if there were multiples, you know, I sold 2 of this or 3 of that or whatever. So we sold 4 keychains. And of the 4 keychains, it was 1 ice cream cone, 1 of the mini birds, a blueberry, and all 3 of those were new ones that I made. And then one that's been hanging around since last year, a gummy bear keychain. Then we sold 1, the pink flamingo with the headband. We sold 2 of the rowdy rooster. Now, I thought that the first one of those that would sell would be the black one with the cartoon eyes. Well, it turns out that's the one I have left. I actually didn't sell anything with the cartoon eyes on it yesterday. Now, granted, it was a small market, so it's not a good one to judge it at. So we'll know better March 7th on the cartoon eyes. But I sold the one where I ran out of yarn and did the bottom was one, and then the top I put the rust. That was the first one to sell. And then the other one that was all the yarn, that was the bottom of the first one, if that makes any sense whatsoever. We sold 2 chicks and an egg, which they got a lot of attention, but we only sold 2. Sold 2 loaf cats, both of them the black ones that I just made, so I have to make more black loaf cats. 3 car swings, 1 frog, 1 I don't remember. I do remember the frog. I don't remember what the other 2 are. Let's see. Car swing, frog. Did I write it down? Keychain. No, I just put swing. I didn't write it down. I should have. But I noticed I don't have any of the little bees left yesterday when I was setting up. Okay, so 3 car swings. I sold my last 2 succulent plants, so I really need to get on those too. I want to say in the beginning I had 12 of those. Maybe. I don't really remember. But I know I enjoyed making them. So I got the mix of colors of the greens, the colors of the flowers, the colors of the pot. They're an easy, quick make. So I have to do some more of those. Sold 1 chunk, and because I don't know their names, it's the one that looks like it's half eggshell. Sold that one. 1 of the All From Jade mini jellyfish. The Ninja Turtle with the blue mask. Don't know their names either. I know, I'm terrible. So now I just have the red and the orange one left. So I need to make a blue and a purple. At least 1 of each. Maybe that's something that I should do, like 3 of each color. And offer a deal, you know, like 1 is this price, but if you get all 4, you get this price. And then like a little bit of a discounted price for them buying all 4. I don't know. It's just something John and I were talking about yesterday. And my jumbo display chicken, it sold. I couldn't believe it. So now I have to make another one of those so that I can display it with my chicks. I just don't have the yarn. I have to go yarn shopping. Like I need more yarn. I just don't have a good color to do the chicken that size. I mean, I love the shape of that chicken. I wasn't thrilled with the way the variegated yarn worked up with that. So I got to make sure I get the right yarn so that I'll be happy with the shape and happy with the color. And I don't know, I might have to make 2 in case one sells. I don't know. Sold one $10 octo with the embroidered eyes. And we sold 3 mini birds. And then we sold the mini birds. We sold the 2 yellow chick looking ones and 1 mallard. The next thing that went was a baby elephant, but it's one that I did as a pattern test. And the woman was looking for like boy colors for an elephant, and I had like creamsicle and purple and these bright yellows and pinks. I didn't have any that were like boy color. And I totally forgot I had this little elephant. So when she walked away from the shelves and she came over to the other table that has the utility baskets and the wood crates on it, there was the little gray elephant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot all about that elephant. So she bought that and something else. Let's see. I think she bought the rooster, one of the roosters. So because of the way it's written down, it was either the rooster or a mini bird. But I think it was the rooster. So then finally I sold a loaf dog. The way I was setting them up before is I had the loaf cats and the loaf dogs in one of the wood crates. And today I decided, let me take the dogs out of the crate and set it onto the table and see what happens. That way they're not just like blending into the big picture. And we actually sold one. And it was the white one that looked like Snoopy. Sold one more princess baby. And I think I am now down to 2, maybe 3 of those. This one was the one in the blue dress, so it was Cinderella. Sold another tuxedo cat. I am down to 1 cat like that. So I have to make more cats. And those are the real cute ones, but I'll have to look at my parfait colors, because if I did those out of another yarn, they would definitely be life size. I mean, they're already pretty big with the parfait chunky. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see what colors I have available. And then we sold a Marley the Manatee, my last small axolotl. And the very last sale of the day was Totoro, the bigger gray one. And the girl that bought that one, she kept coming back all day long. I really like this. And she'd come back and I really like this. You know, she finally, at the end of the day, she was the very last sale of the day. And she probably bugged her parents enough to get the money. And she bought the Totoro. There were a few interesting kids there. The girl that bought the blueberry keychain, not only is she in band, but she does, I think she said Air Force, ROTC. So her uniform for that is blue. So her mom calls her a little blueberry, and that's why she kind of picked the blueberry keychain. But she says she's learning to crochet, and when she makes chickens, her chickens are just, they look awful. She couldn't figure out, and she was trying to follow somebody's video tutorial, I don't know whose, but she couldn't figure out, she couldn't get the head to look right. So I told her how to do it. We'll see. I'll never know if she remembers, and you know, when she gets home and tries it, but I told her how to do it. And she was in and out of the booth all day long too. And she brought friends over to look at stuff. Well, one of the times that she brought the friends over, one girl is looking at the back table that's got the wood crates and the shelves on it. And she spots the alien in the saucer. And she picks it up and she turns around to her friends. And I don't remember exactly how she worded it. But it was funny, but it was mean. It was mean funny, if that makes any sense. And she's like, oh, look. And she calls the boy's name and she says, it's an illegal alien. And I told her, I'm like, laughing, I told her, I'm like, that was really bad. That was a bad joke. At the moment, it was kind of funny, but it really was a bad joke. Then there was this other girl. She's standing there. She's got like this fruity drink in one hand, and she's holding a plushie in the other hand. And I don't know why yesterday, but this one bee kept buzzing around and coming, and I would have to get up and move because they're cute and all, but I think the only things that should fly are birds and butterflies. And it kept buzzing around me. It kept wanting to get into my drink. Well, she's standing there, and it comes up, and she just kind of freezes. So she's got the drink in one hand and the plushie in the other. And it lands on the plushie she's holding. And then it crawls onto her hand, and she's just standing there. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe you are doing that. I would have backed away from the table with the bee buzzing around it. That's just me. I do not like them. I'm not allergic or anything, but no, I don't want to be stung. It starts crawling on her hand, and I'm like, just, giving me the willies. And she's like, please don't sting me. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe you were letting that thing crawl on you like that. I just, no way. And she's like, I love bees. And I'm like, okay, I like them too, but not like that. I do not like them that much. Nope. You can ask Jenna. Jenna is going to be 21 this year. And she was so funny when we first moved up here. It wasn't long that we were here. And I bought some hummingbird feeders. And this one feeder leaked really bad. And that's what I get from buying it from Dollar Tree, you know. But it leaked really bad. And all these bees were around it. And she wouldn't go out the front door. This was before we added on the screen porch. She absolutely would not go out the front door. And she's like, I've never been stung and I don't want to break my record. Well, she still hasn't broke her record yet. She's never been stung before. I've been stung plenty of times and I do not like it. Then there was this group of 3 boys that kept coming in. And the taller, older boy, he was really good. He kept telling the other 2, stop touching things. And the one that really kept coming back a lot, he picks up one of the geckos, and it was made out of Sweet Snuggles light, and it was like white with little specks of black in it. Do you have anything else made with this color? No, that is the last thing I have in that color. And I don't have any more of that color. It was just something I bought one time and I haven't bought it again. And then he's like, do you think you can lower the price on this any? And I said no. So it's like, nope, sorry. This isn't the flea market. And, you know, if he was to go into a store like Walmart and there was a toy that he liked, he's not going to go up to the cashier and say, do you think you can lower the price on this any? I kind of get a little bit offended when people ask that. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt anything to ask that. But I do get a little offended by it. Now, I've had people ask, do you give a multi-purchase discount? And I say no. And, you know, that's not unreasonable to ask for. But the way I look at that is, why would I work harder for less? You know, like even when I was still had my buttons up and live on Etsy, I'd get people would ask me all the time, do you give a bulk discount? I'm already selling them to you in bulk because it's in a set. They were like party favors. People don't just buy one. They're buying 20 or 30 or 50. I'm already giving you a really good price on those. So you're asking me, will I make 400 of them and charge you less for them? And I'm like, why would I want to work harder for less money? No, the price is low enough as it is. And with that, I ate a lot of the price increases. Like when my toner went up in price, when my paper went up in price. But the only thing that stayed stable in price was the cost of the actual components to put the button together, like the top of it, the back of it, the mylar. That is about the only thing that stayed consistent in price. Shipping, a few times, I ate the cost on that when it raised my price to buy my supplies for it. After a while, I couldn't absorb the cost anymore. I had to go up a little bit. But still, when you're talking, you're paying 50 cents a piece, come on. Or on some of the bigger ones, maybe 75 cents a piece. It's like, give me a break. No, I cannot give you a discount. I do not work harder for less. I will work harder for the same, but I won't work harder for less. I'm not going to charge you more because you bought more, but I'm not going to charge you less because you bought more, if that makes any sense at all. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm off on a tangent here. The person that bought the big chicken was actually someone that was there that was shopping in the dealership and came over to see what was going on. And he said his wife just loves chickens. And that thing was so big it barely fit in my biggest bag. And I got to make another one now. And I priced it high thinking it won't sell right away and I'll have it for my display. And it sold at the second market we took it to. So I think that's pretty quick. Anyhow, okay, so we sold 31 items for the day for a total of $381. And everything balanced. My square worked perfectly, but I wasn't at the same place as the last two markets where I had issues with the square. But it was the first time I've ever heard it make a noise, like when the transaction went through, it played like this little music. I've never heard that before. I don't know why. I'm like, never before. Even with the square thing plugged in, because when that's plugged in, you don't get any of your text alerts or anything like that. But anyhow, so $381 in sales, $136 was cash, $223 was card, and $22 in Zelle. And let's see, I didn't do all my math. So with $381 minus $25 for the setup fee, that's $6. That's $356. And my square fees were $6.99. We'll call it $7. So my total revenue, not counting my supplies, for that market was $349. And I think that's very close to what it was last year. I'm not sure if I'm using the same book or not. Let's see. Oh, no, this one. I must have not been able to find the one book. And this one was one I had little patterns written in. So we skipped some pages. We did inventory. Inventory. Then we skipped more pages. And no, it is not in this book. I started writing in this book for the markets in November. Or actually September, October, November with the Brooksville. Then the church. The museum. the Christmas market, my January 3rd market, the festival last time, and then this one. So this is not the wrong book. Somewhere I have another notebook that has last year written in it, but I'm pretty sure it's very comparable. I want to say I did like $330, $340 last time. But for 25 bucks, I think that's just fine. We had a good day. The weather was gorgeous. My foot, on the other hand, is not liking me today, but we did okay with it yesterday. I did bump it a few times. It was a long walk to the restroom uphill. And yeah, it was last night. It started to throb a little bit this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. I know it's there. Okay, it is telling me, hey, I'm here. Don't do that anymore. But for the most part, it was fine. Like, it's not so painful that it's got me in tears or anything. It did just fine. So, not the most exciting of recaps, but it was fun, and I would probably do it again next year if they asked me, mainly because it helps the kids. You know, we don't have to get rich at every market, although it would be nice, but we don't have to make tons and tons of money at every market. And it just keeps giving you more practice and the opportunity to meet more people to find the hookup for the right markets. So, on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you Wednesday in the next video.